Herholdt has been around for over 40 years. The current CEO, Herholdt, he had a vision of renewable energies and taking South Africa to a whole new level of green energy. And fast forward 10 years, we are the biggest importer of renewable energies in South Africa. At the time, Herholdt was experiencing a massive growth spurt. We were plus minus 125 computer users at the time. Within the first 15 months, we grew up to 300 users. We had to make the decision at the time when I joined, what path do we go? Do we continue the Windows route or do we focus only on Apple?
If you buy Windows devices, your turnaround is about 3 years before you have to replace those devices. With the Macs, we've found that a 5-year turnaround is more than enough. We trialed it, we tested it, we weighed up the difference between Windows and Mac in our environment, and it turns out that Mac was the better choice. The motivation behind the shift to Jamf was just the sheer amount of work involved to get software to users. We had to physically go to the machine, log in with our admin accounts and install for them, which means that one of our IT people always had to get on that machine to install software, to do updates. So it was a very hands-on approach and a very slow approach. When we saw what the power of Jamf Pro is, what you can achieve with it, we decided to go ahead and just turn our entire IT strategy around.
It was critical for us not to have any downtime. We do about 2,000 to 3,000 invoices a day. 5 minutes of downtime costs us money. So it was critical for us to have the environment set up and transition smoothly into it without any frustrations to the customers and to the users.
We were told we can do the migration in a week or two. I didn't believe it. We booked it out for 6 weeks. We were done in a week and a half. The guys from on-site held our hands through the entire process. Without them, I don't think we would have been half as successful as we had been.
When I recently got my new Apple device, it was amazing in the sense of I opened it up, used my password, and everything was ready to go and I could start working. The best part for me was you only had one password to use for literally everything.
One of the best functionalities about Jamf Pro, I would say, is the self-service app. Our users can go there and they can download their own software. We always know it's safe. It auto-updates. We have absolutely no input into that anymore. All we do is we place the software in self-service and the users take it themselves from there.
Something that was not thought of in the beginning, but was a very big red flag for myself, was our VPN environment. We still have a very legacy VPN environment because of the branch and where they are situated. We find ourselves working more on the road now. We have product specialists who see suppliers and customers all around the world. It is critical for us to lock down those devices in different countries at the same time. So we are very excited that Jamf are going to help us implement a fully fledged ZTNA environment as well as lock down our BYD devices. There's always the user that would like to use his own personal iPhone, iPad, and we've never had visibility into that infrastructure. With Jamf in place, we can use managed Apple accounts.
We can actually separate work from personal on those devices. The users have the ability to keep their own devices private while still having most of their work functionality in a separate space on their own device.
Operationally, we try our best to make the customer experience as seamless as possible. We had instances where drivers would take stock to a customer, paperwork would not be filled out properly or be lost. We implemented iPads to make that experience a lot better. It worked great and the customers really appreciated the effort we made. As soon as you sign a document, it immediately gets sent through to your AM, who then invoices you directly. Within 5 minutes, everything is done. We had the frustration though that drivers get distracted. They had this tool, but they weren't using it only for a work purpose. We are now in a position that we can lock down our iPads. We can decide what they can and cannot do, what they can and cannot see, what sort of internet traffic they can use. Implementing the Jamf platform definitely helped us to lock down our iPad environment. About a year ago, we started a new division called CES, Containerized Energy Solutions, and the great tool that we've received now is the Apple Vision Pro. We're very excited for the project starting next year. The vision that we have is to have a customer come to a branch, put on a Vision Pro and experience the container build for himself. If he has any questions, he can pick things out of the air and he can design and be part of the design process.
If I can describe Jamf in one word, I would say productivity.
Using Jamf has freed up my team, I would say, by about 50%. We found that our team has now got more time to innovate, to plan ahead, to actually focus on making our infrastructure better instead of just being reactive, fixing problems, trying to make things work. We look forward to a long partnership with the on-site group and with Jamf and moving forward and bettering our infrastructure, our user experience, and our IT department's experience.